Imagine you are in a conversation with very smart people, or you are in the middle of a team meeting or a sales presentation, and suddenly you are asked a question that you are completely unprepared of. You see, the opportunities like this can change your life forever, but only if you are able to use it. Ability to think about the great ideas on the fly is a master skill. By learning this, you can immediately become a more powerful communicator, and people will probably remember what you are saying for years and years to come. So let's get into it. Number one thing is first principle thinking. Every complex solution is made up of some foundational truths. Elon Musk talks about it really well, and I like how he presents it in this specific video.
By first principles is kind of a physics way of looking at the world. And what that really means is you kind of boil things down to the most fundamental truths and say, okay, what are we sure is true or as sure as possible is true? And then reason up from there.
Every time you are given a problem, you do not share any opinions or facts. You go to the foundational truths that are holding that structure. So let me give you this example. So let's say you are asked how to make money. Well, it's a simple question. And most of the people would say, well, getting a job or starting a business, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, or getting better education, and all bunch of things that people think are connected to making more money. But instead of it, what if you go to the foundational truths and you say there is only one way of making money, which is when other people who have money give it to you, right? And this is the foundational principle. And then you start your conversation from there. So to make money, it needs to come from people who have it. And the only way people are actually going to give it to you legally, ethically, is when you are offering them what they need. This is an exchange of value. It doesn't matter if you are in a job or in a business, as long as you are offering other people what they want, you are gonna get what you want. And in this case, this is making money. You see, as soon as you went to first principle thinking, your communication and the way you presented your ideas became immediately effective and persuasive. And the second thing to master is the patterns. One of my favorite quotes from one of my mentors, T. Harv Eker, is how you do one thing is how you do everything. Most of the things in our world are not just single events. I have an invitation for you. If you are building an online business and you are tired of overwhelming information on the internet, then join the circle. It's a community of coaches, creators, and entrepreneurs who are building an online business by productizing their brain and sharing their ideas and turning them into digital products. So you can build a business that you can run from anywhere in the world without any office or employees. If this is something that interests you, check out the description and join while it is still available. Now let's get back to the video. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Most of the things in our world are not just single events. If you look at your one area of life where you are struggling, you will notice that there are also other areas of life where you are struggling with a similar kind of problems. So how can you apply this in conversation? Think about this. Have you ever solved a problem in a different context that you can apply in the context of the conversation? So here is an example of that. Have you ever tried to learn a new language in a foreign country? One of the tricks I personally use when I'm in a foreign country and I'm trying to make conversation with locals is I try to learn some keywords, and every time I have to buy groceries or I have to make small conversations, I would just use those keywords. Now, this is a completely different context, which is learning a new language. The trick here is learning the keywords. Now, how can you use this in a different context like sales or business? You master some of the keywords that your potential customers are familiar with, and you're using these keywords in your sales presentation. And this is one of the patterns that you can use, right? So every time you are in a conversation, you are trying to solve a problem, look at how you were able to solve a similar kind of problem in a different context. So you can borrow a strategy from a different environment and you can apply this in the current one. And the third secret is framework thinking. You need to design patterns instead of speaking facts or opinions. Now, here is an example. So let's say you had an opportunity to share your story. Most of the people, when they share about themselves, they flow in emotion, and most of the time they consume so much time that people start getting bored. So here's the framework that I personally love. This is called Hero's Journey, and this was first designed by Joseph Campbell, and some of the most popular movies like Star Wars and Avengers adventures were based on this specific framework. So in the beginning, there is a normal world. We were just busy in our everyday life. And then there was a call to adventure. Something happened that inspired you to walk on a new journey. And when you decided on that journey, it was a hard moment. And then when you were going through this, there were many challenges. And at some point, you had to kill your old character. So this third stage is death of your old character. And when this old character was dying, you got this divine help. You got some kind of inspiration. Maybe it was an event, or it was some person, or a specific object, but it was something special to you. And that kind of resurrected you, and you got back your strength. And from there, you were able to beat the enemy. For example, in my case, when I share my journey, it is always about mediocrity and the everyday life I hated to live. So this is a phase of victory. Once you achieved your first goal, you went back to your normal world, but this time you were a completely different person. So there is this sense of progression, and also there is a hidden lesson that you can share with your audience. Even if people are asking about your story, every time they are looking for something for them. They are asking, what is in for me? And when you share your hero's journey, there is a lesson that you can pull out from your story, and you can share with your audience that they can take away and remember and implement in their life. So these are three elements to master your communication and to think of great ideas and solutions on the fly. If you are curious how to apply framework thinking in your business, then check out the description and let me know in the comment box if you have any further questions. I would be very happy to answer it. I will talk to you in the next video.